We are suddenly in a season of writing books and sharing our experiences by putting it down for others to read. At first, it was the Azimio National agent Ole Kanchori who came up with a book, Why Baba is Not the Fifth, and he was explaining the do's and don'ts, sins of omission and commission that cost Raila Odinga his chance of ascending to the most coveted house, State House. And then it was Aden Duale, the current cabinet secretary in the defense ministry. And then, of course, the former IEBC chair, Isaac Hamed Hassan, also produced a book entitled A Referee of a Dirty Game. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, Isaac Hassan got an opportunity to be with Jeff Koinange in the JFK Live on Citizen TV. And he talked about mighty issues and issues that are very pertinent to our nation, especially considering the prevailing political circumstances. If as we delve into this, kindly subscribe to our channel if you are watching for the first time, or if you are our regular viewer but you have not yet subscribed. And to those who are our returning viewers, I want to say asanteni sana, including those who support our channel. We are still trying to cope up as a family. I told you there are other complications that are really committing, and that's why I don't get sufficient time to do my videos, but I'm thanking God and I'm hoping everything will be okay. So Isaac Hassan talked about several issues, but there is one that I really want us to talk about. Just listen to him.
It's a very dirty and ugly game.
And in Kenya, it's particularly
delicious and yes.
Because of what? And you mentioned in the book, you talk about we're still tribal bigots.
Yeah.
Right?
If you look at the election results, it's more or less like an ethnic census of our communities, how we vote. And we can't escape that fact. And so we have to find a way of managing the electoral contest in a way that communities don't feel left out, and that we have a much more inclusive governance structure, and also a system which can give the loser of the election, especially presidential, an incentive to concede defeat. When you are up here and you get 49% of the votes, and your person gets 50.04% of the vote and he wins, and the following day you are nothing, completely nothing. It is a winner takes all, loser takes nothing. I think that's one of the things that makes our politics very vicious, very ugly. So I think at some point we have to revisit our system of government and also our electoral system. But in any case, the constitution is more than 10 years old. It is actually due for review.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I want to fully concur with the former IEBC chair. Remember Isaac Hassan was the first IEBC chairman who conducted an election under the 2010 new constitution. And it says there that our election is like census, because we vote on tribal and ethnic lines. If you are a Luo, you vote a Luo candidate. If you are a Kalenjin, you vote in a Kalenjin candidate. And if you are a Kikuyu, you vote in a Kikuyu candidate. And of course, you are a Kisi, a Kamba, Coast, the Nubi, all that. Or you will be looking at a coalition that your tribesman has got a lot of interest. And Isaac Hassan says that we need to review how we vote. And he goes ahead to say that it is high time that we review our constitution so that we don't let the loser loses everything and the winner taking everything. Issa Hassan is giving an example of a presidential candidate who wins by 50, maybe plus 1%. And then the second comes in with 49.9%. The gap is very marginal, so much that you cannot let the second just go away like he has lost everything. If you go for an election, for example, in Kenya today, and the winner has got 8 million, then the person who comes in second has got 7.5 million. You don't just abandon the second person as if he doesn't have followers. And in his own considered opinion, Issa Hassan is saying that we need to review our constitution so that we incorporate those two, especially when they come close, when we have a closely contested election. The reason why I picked on these sentiments is because it is not the first time I've had experts talking about this. In the previous government, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, in unity with Raila Odinga, looked into the issues that are eating us down after every election. Why people have to fight after every election. And they said that perhaps it is time that we bring in the spirit of brotherhood so that we incorporate everyone, inclusivity. And this is the reason why they came up with the BBI, Building Bridges Initiative. And in it, there were proposals that we have a prime minister, a deputy, things like that, so that we can expand the executive to include more offices. Of course, there were divided opinions on this. The Kenya Kwanza now really opposed these proposals because they were saying that Kenyans were overburdened, and they claimed that Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga only wanted to reward their cronies. And in fact, then Ruto said that Uhuru wanted to retain power by under the guise of being close to Raila Odinga within the BBI. And Ruto said that in his government, he will not expand the executive. Ruto said then that there was no need of a prime minister and all that. He said that he wanted a government of Mama Mboga and Mutu wa Boda Boda. But if you have listened to several experts and you follow closely the prevailing circumstances, you will realize that it is high time that we look into the BBI. Even if it's coming with a different name, you'll agree with me that there are issues that we must look at. Because, for example, I have seen members of parliament from Mount Kenya reviewing and revisiting the issue of 1 man, 1 shilling, 1 vote. This is something that came up during the BBI. And the members from Mount Kenya were persuaded to adopt and accept the BBI because it was beneficial to them. They were going to have more constituencies. And Uhuru Kenyatta, I remember very well, tried to persuade them to accept this, but they refused because the Kenya Kwanza team had gone there with a different proposal. And of course, you know what happened. It later went to the courts and the courts throttled it. The fact that it is being reviewed and they're talking about it means that this is the time to talk about it. As Hassan is saying there, and I agree with him, that our constitution is just 10 years old and it is time to review this constitution. If you remember, when we were passing this constitution, the proponent of the constitution had said that it wasn't 100% good. There was certain percentage, like 20, that we needed to review, and they said that let us pass the constitution, then we will look into several gray areas so that we know which areas to attack, which areas to amend. And I want to submit to you that one of the areas that we should be looking at today is the gray area on who should relieve the principal secretaries of their duties. Just recently, when William Ruto suspended the CS, the PS in the Ministry of Health, several experts have come up and they're saying that Ruto does not have the powers to suspend or to sack a permanent principal secretary. And they say that that is the prerogative of the Public Service Commission that also takes part in recruiting and deploying such officers. And you understand by this that there are several gray areas that we really need to look at. The Kenya Kwanza government, after hoodwinking Kenyans that they were not going to expand the executive, realized that the nature of our politics dictates that the executive must be expanded. And this is the reason why, to date, Musalia Mudavadi, a very senior politician in Kenya today, has got an office that is not entrenched into the constitution. And I remember sometimes back Raila was telling Ruto to just be bold enough and rally support behind the BBI so that we can create the position of a prime minister. Because that is the position that Musalia Mudavadi is occupying. But since it is not in the constitution, he is now being given a name, a chief minister. In as much as the Kenya Kwanza team realized that we needed to expand our executive, they fear coming out in the open to explain to Kenyans, because they know Kenyans will really bash them for taking them for a ride. I know even if you expand the executive, it might not suffice and it might not be the lasting solution to our problems. But at least we shall have incorporated more and more communities, because we want to bury our heads under the sand, yet we know very well that when we are given an opportunity to vote, we will be voting along tribal lines. Once we have voted along tribal lines, the winner will always take it all, and then the loser is left as if he does not matter in the society, as if he does not have followers. And you cannot wish away someone with over 7 million or 8 million votes. It will be troublesome. And this is the reason why I'm saying that I fully agree with the former IEBC chair that we need to review this. And what has started in the bipartisan talks should not waste our money, should not waste our time. Let us look at issues that we must be reviewing. But over and above, we should open this server and see who won the elections, so that even as we go on with the talks, the rightful owner of the rightful winner of the August polls should occupy State House.